When you examine his childhood, it's all too believable that he would grow up to be a habitual criminal. His father was an abuser, emotionally and physically. His father bullied his son, calling him names like dumb, stupid, and a sissy. He would get beaten by his father when caught misbehaving, or even when just making a mistake. That child grew up hating male superior figures, with a violent disposition that has hurt many people. His desire to be important and a real man consumed his motivation. He was driven by a fanatical desperation to prove his father wrong, even after the father passed, as that might negate all those years of abuse. Despite it all, he still remained devoted to his father, his memory, and his legacy. If you've watched my videos before, you'd be forgiven for assuming I was talking about Gorgeous George, but no, that was a summation of John Wayne Gacy, an American serial killer given the nickname Killer Clown. I recently finished reading Killer Clown: The John Wayne Gacy Murders, co-written by prosecutor Terry Sullivan. It was an interesting read, and I was surprised to learn how many facets of Gacy's life that GG has in common. So let's talk about John Wayne Gacy, and just keep in mind what you know about George. I think you'll see some interesting parallels. John Wayne Gacy was born to a modest household ran by a self-made man who would become an imposing figure in his life. Gacy's middle name, Wayne, would be a permanent fixture in his proper name to differentiate himself from his father, who was also named John Gacy. The senior Gacy had only one son and was adamant that he be the picture of masculinity, a match for how Gacy Sr. saw himself. The senior even named his son after John Wayne, the badass Western movie icon. John Wayne Gacy would never live up to this expectation, causing the father to resent his son and lash out violently. Young John Wayne was fat and unathletic, which infuriated the senior. At the worst infractions, the father would take a helpless John Wayne into the basement and physically abuse him. Despite this, John Wayne would always speak well of his father. Flash forward several decades. John Wayne is an adult, and John Gacy Sr. has passed. The death liberated John, as he was now able to pursue inner desires without reproach, though the ghost of Gacy Sr. would always haunt him. John was a self-important man about town. Though he came from humble beginnings with little education, he adamantly marketed himself as a successful man of industry. He made his money doing odd jobs, preferring anything where he could be his own boss. In his free time, John was an entertainer. He was a clown for hire, dressing up in full clown makeup to work events, often ones centered around children. This hobby is what helped earn him his famous nickname, Killer Clown. Though he found no success in his entertainment career, he still enjoyed the attention and the feeling of being important. But the world didn't know at the time that John was leading an extremely evil private life. John had his own house that became a fixture of his devotion. The home would be both a shrine to his hidden desires and a locked cell for his traumatic psychosis. John had long harbored sexual feelings for men, and the internal war between this desire and his father's legacy stuck inside his head would have deadly consequences. People who entered into John's home would be exposed to his true self. Those who were truly unlucky experienced only pain and torture at the hands of John. When John developed a lust for hurting people in his house, he would drive around in a van looking for victims. It is here where John's life runs a path that George's didn't. Mainly due to the egregiously evil nature of his crimes, John was arrested after a robust investigation and after a stay on death row, he would be executed by lethal injection. So what do you think about these parallels? What do you think happened in the long history of Yareds in 1307 Stony Creek? Well, this has been Dr. Shamir. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.